Now, after being questioned on Prime Minister Modi's hug to Putin by the BBC, this is another piece of breaking news coming in. External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar has hit out at the British broadcaster. Jaishankar has said, and I quote, "In our part of the world, when people meet, people are given to embracing each other." Is the pitch coming in from the External Affairs Minister. He has said once again, and I quote, "In our part of the world, when people meet, they are given to embracing each other. It may not be a part of your culture, it is part of our culture." He also stated that Prime Minister Modi also embraced President Zelenskyy. Listen in.
You talked about Prime Minister Modi's visit to Moscow last month, and a lot of people here were very upset to see that embrace between the two leaders. In light of that, I'm just wondering whether you had difficulty today persuading President Zelenskyy that India is not favouring Russia, but is indeed pursuing a policy of non-alignment.
You know, in our part of the world, when people meet people, they are given to embracing each other. It may not be part of your culture, but I assure you it's part of ours. So, in fact, today I think I saw the Prime Minister also embrace President Zelenskyy, and I've seen him do it with a number of other leaders in a number of other places. So I think perhaps we have a slightly cultural a gap here in terms of what these courtesies mean.
And Siddhant continues to be with us on the broadcast. Siddhant, this is classic S. Jaishankar when it comes to replying to Western journalists, where he time and again says that the West can't preach to India over how it conducts its foreign policy.
Well, absolutely. In fact, when Prime Minister went to Moscow, the hugs and the handshake didn't go well with the Western critiques. And in fact, the same was explained by India to their American counterparts, that it's very much a part of Indian culture, and that is how Prime Minister Modi greets whoever he meets, and that was explained to America. And if you remember, Donald Trump also perhaps recreated same. So there was always, the Western critiques were uncomfortable with the Moscow visit and the hugs and the handshake. This hugged Zelenskyy and embraced him. So that's more of a culture, the Indian culture, and that has less to do with foreign policy or any kind of symbolism. It's more of an Indian culture, and that is perhaps what Mr. Jaishankar said in his answer, that it may not be the part of your culture, but it is part of my culture.
Right. Thank you, Siddhant, for joining us with that piece of breaking news. So, S. Jaishankar also sending that message to the West that India will conduct foreign policy in its own style and as per its own culture. We're getting more reactions coming in from the MEA after Prime Minister Modi's message of peace in Ukraine. Let's listen in.
मैं यूक्रेन की राजधानी कीव के रेलवे स्टेशन से आपसे बात कर रहा हूं। भारत के प्रधानमंत्री अपने इस ऐतिहासिक दौरे ख़त्म करके लौट रहे हैं। ये पहली दफ़ा है कि भारत के यहाँ से हमारे प्रधानमंत्री इस देश के दौरे पे आए हैं। आज सवेरे उनकी बातचीत यहाँ के राष्ट्रपति से हुई और शुरुआत उन्होंने बापू को नमन करके किया। यहाँ पर एक बाग में बापू की प्रतिमा है, वहाँ पर उन्हें श्रद्धांजलि अर्पित की और उनका संदेश जो है वो लोगों को याद दिलाया। हमारे साथ जुड़े रहिए इस दौरे के बारे में जानने के लिए और अन्य चीज़ों के बारे में जानने के लिए। बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद।